welcome to another episode of those 1878 United Fan Zone. With me, as always, we've got Mikey Douglas here. Mikey, Man United lose to Tottenham in what I thought, after rewatching, a pretty horrendous performance, to be quite frank. I honestly don't think there was a bright spark in that game from any of the players, to be quite frank with you. Another week with no goals. Another week with no goals from our strikers. One of the craziest things is, I don't know how true this is, but I don't think 𝙈𝙍𝙀 and Rasmus have scored away from Old Trafford this year.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure I heard that today, that they haven't scored a goal outside of Old Trafford this season.
When they played Fulham, we were at home.
Yeah, I believe so.
The first time?
Yeah, when 𝙈𝙍𝙀 scored in the last minute, I think it was home, which is crazy to think.
There's a lot of troubling stats. Sorry, boys, didn't catch the email last time out. Be ready to come on next Monday. Hey, no problem, bro.
We're here Thursday. If you want to come on Thursday, buddy.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so about the game, I feel like we had a better second half than first. That's not saying much because the first half was really bad. A couple of sparks I will say was 𝙈𝙍𝙀 and 𝙈𝙁, but 𝙈𝙁 couldn't get any kind of service going to him as far as his overlap. He just kept overlapping, and greedy Garnacho once again just, you know, if I was 𝙈𝙁 and I made that many overlapping runs and you just told me to piss off, me and him would have to have words. I mean, and then the time he did pass it to him or give it to him, the couple times he did, that he was putting in wicked crosses that almost had, you know, some end product to him.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, Garnacho, you got to grow up, man. And we've been saying this for too long. Like, I was a guy that wanted to take the money for Garnacho, 100%. But then, you know, it turned out that you know, we need him. Now we're down to 3 attackers. We're literally down to 3 attackers now. And I said this 100 times. I said, all it takes is one injury crisis, and we should have done some business in January. I know how hard that is to do, but just we needed the depth. We needed bodies. Yeah. So, you know,
even if it was a loan deal, $5 million loan deal for the end of the season, we needed bodies. No. Talking of Garnacho, officially has the worst conversion rating in the Premier League, which is pretty bad.
Bruno's up there too.
Who?
Bruno's like 4th.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're both Mr. Green saying, boys, I'm not seeing it with Garnacho. He's very selfish. Yeah, I did see something today, and after I rewatched the game today, and 𝙈𝙁 made so many overlapping runs down that left, and he just wouldn't pass it to 𝙈𝙁. And I was gobsmacked at what he was doing. When your conversion rating is that bad, why are you not putting it to a guy who's new into the team, who's eager to put it in? And it goes to me why. For me, AMAORIM got it wrong. He really did. But he's a new manager. He's a young manager. And just like the young players, he's going to make mistakes. He made one at the weekend. And Garnacho should have come off. Rasmus Højlund should have come off. And there was prime time for these players to come on. And the reason I was really hoping, you know, Obi was coming on was because if you look at the past where Man United youngsters come on, they tend to more than not score on their debut. You look at all the past people, you know, Chio, I can't remember his name. Whatever, he scored against Villa in the last minute. You know, Januzaj scored, Rashford scored. We more often than not score on our debuts. And for him to come on the 90th minute was just, you know, what were you doing? Like, how does that help him in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah.
You know, you got Casemiro who's on there. His legs are gone. Can't play full 90 minutes. And you got want an exciting talent in Kone to come on. He could have come on and showed, got some experience against the top team. And now we're going to give them their full debut against Everton at the weekend. And Everton have the most points of any team in the Premier League since David Moyes came in. So instead of playing a Tottenham who are hurt, who are wounded, you're going to go and give it the debut to the team that has the most points in the Premier League in the last month. It doesn't make sense to me.
The guys are tired. That's the biggest thing for me. They're tired, and it was evident that they were tired. And he just, and that's what was a point of contention for me. And I kind of gave up on the game after a while. I'm like, we're doing better in the second half. We looked the most dangerous. We had the most chances outside of, I don't remember another chance from Spurs except for the goal. Yeah. I don't remember another one. If anybody can help me out, they didn't look dangerous at all. The game was for us to. I feel like we could have got something out of that game, but he sat on his hands, and I understand why he might have did that. Right? I understand it. I get it. You don't want it. Things could always get worse. Things could always be worse. You don't want to get on there and then I get that, but this is not the time to be conservative. This is not the time to be scared to try something. You've been trying things all season with these players that you had no idea about. Now today's the day that you decide to be conservative? No. Now, granted, he sees, when I mean you, I mean him, he sees these kids in action way more than I do. I will not profess to say that I see these kids or watch the academy any more than, the average man. I probably watch it less. But this is the game to give the kids a shot, right, Mr. Green? 100%. This is the game to give the kids a shot, and he didn't do that. And especially when we're chasing the game, we have a goal scorer. We have a youth goal scorer on the bench. Go to him, but to give him 3 minutes is the problem. What is 3 minutes going to do? He didn't even get a sniff of the ball in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, what is that's demoralizing to me. Like, why are you giving him this? I don't criticize Amorim a lot, but he got it completely wrong this time. I understand why you want to be cautious with the kids. So I get it. I don't put too much on it, but this whole thing it's a problem from top to bottom. The players were playing very poorly. They're doing the fundamentals wrong. Passes are not crisp. They're not clean. They don't have enough weight on them. Guys look like they don't know what they're doing, where they need to be, when there's an attacking threat going on, where they need to be when there's a defensive threat. As much as I'm blaming Onana for that parry, because those weak wrists, weak hands, there's 5 bodies in the box just standing there.
Yeah.
And Madison just runs right through that and sniffs it out like a poacher does and just sniffs it out. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Onana again, passing the ball to Dorgu. Gets him a yellow card. No reason for that. Why are you doing that? Guys just look out of sync, out of order. And it's a thing from the top down. It's the players, the manager got it wrong. And then Ineos did not prepare this manager at all for what he's going to have to deal with for the next 15 or 16 games we got left.
If we go another 4 games and we only win 1 game, I honestly see the Arsenal game. I know there's going to be protests at the Arsenal game. If we go up to that day with only 1 win or 0 wins, I don't think that Arsenal game goes ahead.
Oh,
I don't think it goes ahead.
If we go that, we're really going to be in relegation form.
Yeah. Right now, we're 12 points above the relegation zone. I don't see us getting relegated. I don't. Is it going to be tight? Yeah. But if we don't win, and we don't have any easy games anymore, we don't win up until that Arsenal game, I don't see that Arsenal game going ahead. I think it gets cancelled. I think the protests will be so strong, like they did against Liverpool a few years ago. I think they don't play the game. I don't think the game goes ahead.
I think that's a good thing. But also these protests, once again, like we've been saying, do people protest if we're doing well? No, we're not doing, So it's like, I'm all for the protesting. I'm all for it. I'm 100% behind anybody who decides to protest the Glazers. I'm here with you. I wish I could be there with you. But what I will say is about them, I don't like that we don't have the complete backing of everyone, even when we're doing well. I don't like how quiet it goes when when we're winning FA Cups and things like that. You're not hearing that much. Now, there's always a Glazer out contingency, always. The 1958, all those men them at United FC of Manchester, there'll always be Glazer out, 100%. I support both of those groups.
Yeah.
But that sentiment doesn't need to be the default sentiment when things are going bad. It needs to be the default sentiment all the time. All right. So I'm with that. If they're gonna do it, I'm honestly, I wasn't entertaining the idea of relegation because the other teams are so bad. But with the two teams that we're about to face, there's a real 6-pointers.
Yeah. But
Can't lose those two games.
The weird thing for me is we'll probably win at the weekend. You've nailed it on the head so many times. We were so inconsistent. You just don't know who's going to turn up. Fernandinho, St. Bruno, and Garnachas were dragged out of midfield so easily. God day, mate, really got over on Amorim. Yeah, he did.
And they weren't good. They were not playing well.
Spurs were horrendous.
Again, Man United cannot string together 90 minutes of football. Can't do it. Either we suck in the beginning and we improve, or we're good in the beginning and then we let off the gas. We have yet to put together a cohesive 90-minute game.
And what's more worrying for me is last year we were all over the goal difference, and we ended the season with -1. We're at -7. -7 goals. And you've got over $100 million worth of two strikers who can't score. They just can't score.
Nope.
And you've got a kid who is begging to be on the team sheet, who's going to give you everything. And you don't put him on until the 90th minute?
3 minutes to go.
I said you'd put him on for injury time. And least of all, do you know he didn't even touch the ball?
Yeah, I said that. Yeah. I said he didn't even get a sniff.
Didn't get a touch of the ball. And
how could you? How could you in 3 minutes?
Yeah, and then you put him on when Tottenham have a free kick.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't understand it. At that point, just don't put him on. Because it made no difference whether he was on the field or not.
I just don't understand Amorim, the big tinkerer, who's been, I'm trying this, I'm trying that, I'm going to put this person in the 10, and I'm going to try this over here, and I'm going to swap these guys over here. And it's like, all right, well, we got youth. We're hurt. We're very hurt. We got youth that's sitting here, and you bring up all these youth players. You bring them all the way to the capital, and you only play the one kid for 3 minutes. Come on now. That once again, I can't say too much about it because I don't watch those kids every day. But I think a run out for at least 2 or 3 of them would have been great. 10 minutes, especially 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀, especially him. He gets 10 minutes. Give him 10. Give him 15 minutes. We're chasing a goal.
Mm-hmm.
We can actually finally see what the hype's about.
I would
at a good time.
Yeah, I would have put Kone on it too, because Kone's fast and he has the legs right now, especially with only 10 minutes to go, right? So you put Obi on and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing. You could put more players up front because Kone has the ability to get back. He's a CDM. So he has the ability to get back because he has the fresh legs with 10 minutes to go if they do a counterattack.
I'm not familiar with MEC Bandito. Help me out. Would have liked to see 𝙈𝙬𝙀 for 12, 15 minutes and Kone for 10. Yeah. Amorim was off this reason 100%. 100%. Don't understand. But I'm not calling for his head. I'm not. He made a blunder. Everybody that's managed this club has made a mistake. Even our God has made a mistake. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sir Alex, he's made mistakes, and he's said it before. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again. It's just that there's this insatiable urge to when the manager makes a mistake that the world goes crazy because we're already not doing well.
Let me ask
Right?
you this, and I'm going to ask the fans this to, the fans of the show. Would at this point, would you consider changing just to the end of the season and say, hey, look, we've learned the bases of the system. You all understand how the system goes. Would you change it for the last 2 months?
They don't understand it. They don't
No,
understand it now.
I get that, but like I'm wondering, like, if he says, look, we're just going to change it for the last couple of months, but starting at the first day of preseason, we are going back to this way with my new players, so we can have the whole preseason. Because you're right, they still don't understand this system. I don't think they do. And for me, it's like half of these players are not going to be there next year anyway. So why not play the way they know how to play just till the end of the season and say, look, we're going to get by with this season how it is. We're going to play the way that you know, and then start, because I don't know, man. Like, I don't want him to change his system, trust me. And I'm not calling for him. I'm just asking how you guys feel.
I'm not changing it, because for too long, everybody has been like, hey, this person's system we need to play. Get rid of that manager. Get rid of this manager. It's been 4 months. It's been 4 months. And if these guys can't ship up, they'll go. And if we go down, that's what it is. That's just what it is. It's sink or swim. Amorim is the guy we're backing. We know he can. He's a good coach. He's a tactical coach. He can figure it out. He got it wrong this time. Okay. But we know that he gives a damn about playing a cohesive style of football, something that we've lacked for 10 years, right? We've lacked that. I think under Van Gaal, we played a decent style of 5 at the back, and we won things with that. But it was so slow and so defensive. We hated it. We got rid of him. We got rid of the guy. Won things and we got rid of him. We didn't place too bad in the league.
We won the FA
right?
Cup last game.
Come on. So with that being said, like baseball, lost season, the call-up start. Yo, I'm with that too, but you do not change this. Everybody that comes to Man United knows it's the Amorim way that we doing it. I'm not changing. Does he need a plan B sometimes? Yes. I'm not saying change the tactics when I say plan B, but something, well, not necessarily. I am saying change the tactics. I'm not saying the formation itself. The way we go about games, though, late in games, when we're up, when we're chasing it, who we bring on, what we're asking them to do, some of these things have to change later on. So that's how I feel. A lot of these guys that, like Mike is saying right now, that are your thoughts on United legends going in on a team and the coach this week? I will get into that, but they're calling for it. And it's like, yo, I don't rate you guys that's saying this, because y'all were the same guys that wouldn't criticize Ollie.
Yeah.
You wouldn't criticize Ollie because he's your mate and you're on the Christmas list. You wouldn't criticize Ronaldo because he's your mate and you want to get invited to the Christmas party. Okay, so don't criticize this new manager when it's starting to go bad. I'm not backing that.
This manager at the age of 38, 39, right?
He's 40 now.
He's 40. Has won more titles as a manager than every single one of those people calling him out. Think about that. He's 38. Gary Neville is rated as the worst coach in Spanish football history. He
had no business down there.
All of them, including Roy Keane, have relegated their team they manage. And they have the balls to sit there and question a manager of Manchester United.
Can we get into that?
What's up?
The backlash from the former players, because I think there's something there, and it always annoys me. You know, a lot of the times you guys heard me talk about Roy Keane.
They're just trying to stay relevant.
You've heard me talk about Gary Neville. You've heard me say these things before. This is what they do. They are no good as pundits. I love Roy Keane. I love Gary Neville. Gary Neville, 405 appearances, 5 goals. I love him. But my God, bro, First off, you're in Ineos's pocket for the regeneration plan. So you're never going to criticize the owners.
Yeah,
You're
I
not going to
know, right?
criticize the new owners at all. You're in their back pocket, Gary. We know that. Two, you have no idea what's going on with what this manager is trying to do, and you're slagging him off, but you're bigging up Mr. Shrimp on the Barbie. What's going on? What is going on? I don't understand. What did they get out of this? Madison scores. He does the darts. He does the shh. He's not doing that to us. He's doing it to Roy Keane. Because Roy Keane telling him he's not good enough for England. He's not this. He's not that. He sucks. All this other stuff. Keep your mouth quiet. Why are you giving these people a? People keep receipts. Why are you doing this? Why are you slagging off players? We're about to play these guys.
Mhm.
We have to play them. Madison's in our league. Rio Ferdinand, another one. I think Rio, the thing with Rio, though, Rio was trying to, he's kind of at wit's end because Rio defends the club a lot. But he's at wit's end because people are making him look fucking stupid now. But it's just this clickbaity, like YouTube thing they got going on where they got to say it's either they're, like I said, they're out of their depth, they're dinosaurs to the game, or they're just saying this stuff to get attention. Either way, both of those things are harmful. It offers no real insight into what United need to be doing, which we're looking to you to do as the pundit who's won. You guys are legends of the club.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I'll say is this is terrible for the mentality of the new kids coming in. If I'm on the bench and I'm Sekou Kone and I'm on the bench and I'm waiting to come in, and I'm like, geez, can't wait to get in. I can't wait. And I'm seeing Roy Keane and Gary Neville, and they're slagging these guys off, as they should be, but they're slagging off our players now. What kind of mental space is that going to put me in to get in the game? Because I know if I mess up, or if I do something, the legend of Man United might say something about it. Stop this. I don't see legends of other clubs going in on teams the way that ours do to us. I don't see it. I always see Ian Wright trying to big up Man United. It's crazy. He bigs up Man United more than Man United players.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I expect it from Souness, but not former Manchester United player. No.
Souness was a thug. That's the thing. He was never good enough to be. I mean, his trophy cabinet's lit, but he had a good team around him. But he's a thug. He was nothing but a thug. So I expect that from him.
Yeah, I gonna get that. He was for me. It was.
It was a red card waiting.
Yeah. No, you're not right. Yeah, but so was Roy Keane. You know. Player. Yeah, so was Roy Keane. Roy Keane's cabinet's a lot bigger, but.
Do you think that they're similar?
No, you said there's a red card waiting for them. There was always a red card waiting for them. They
all he was a red card.
Yeah. No, for me, I'm just I don't even watch the pundits anymore. There's a very, very select group of Manchester United people that do shows like me. I'm gonna give the people's person, I'm gonna give him a shout out.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a great guy that he does online. I refuse to watch United Stand just because of the banner situation and refusing to help. Also, he's in the pocket of Glaciers also. Yeah, but so I usually just get my news online. I go on Twitter and figure out what's real, figure out what's not real. I put the pieces together, but I won't watch it. Just like I won't watch ESPN. It is just horrendous.
Oh, I'm definitely not watching that.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about them.
And for me, I've said this a million times. If you don't like the way that the culture is at Manchester United, go in and teach them how Fergie taught you the culture. Be an ex-Man United legend and go in and teach these players what you were taught from Sir Alex Ferguson about the culture. Please don't teach them about football managing because you're horrendous at it. But yeah, go in and teach them. Take them up to the trophy cabinet. Show them how it was done. But to sit there and keep criticizing them
it's not.
And it's not just these players though, is it? And it's not just this manager. It's every manager that that doesn't do well.
Except for Ollie.
No, they did criticize Ollie at the end.
Oh, yeah. When it was over. When we were in the thick of it, and he deserved it. They refused when it was over with and we were getting bashed 6-3
Yeah.
and things like that. Then it was like, oh well, yeah, and it's like, shut up, bro.
Yeah, one of the funniest things that I ever saw from Roy Keane was when Ollie was on their show with Gary Neville, and he said that McFred was a good midfield duo, and Roy Keane picked up his glass and sniffed it to see if there was any alcohol in it. that
And I
made me
think
laugh.
stuff like that is funny. Like
It
it's
is.
good, but it's like what they do when it's managers that's not their boy. Like with Ten Hag, it was a lot of that. But Ten Hag, now in retrospect, we know like Ten Hag didn't work out, and like we have the benefit of retrospect to say, you know what, this is what he did, and we're mad and fine. But like this is not conducive to success. I just don't see it.
Well,
Every team does it, but I don't see it as much. It's not on front page news like us, where everything we do is magnified times 10, and they
I
should know that.
Yeah, I just think this goes higher than the players. It goes higher than the manager. A couple of years ago, remember when Ollie was in and we came in and we got um we got Ronaldo and we got a new defender, we got Sancho, and that was the piece we needed to get over the line, and then it just crumbled. And then the manager before that, he got the few pieces that he needed, and then it crumbled. And the manager before that got the pieces that he needed, and it just crumbled. Now, the difference between those managers and the manager we have now is we actually have a back staff that know what they're talking about. We haven't talked about it yet, but I'll bring it up and we can maybe go into it, or we can just wait after this subject. But hiring the guy from PSG who, brings in money, he's the guy that got the sponsorship with Jordan. They have the Nike Jordan on their shirt. Now what they do, and I don't know if you know this, he opened up shops around the world and sells their last year's stuff at a major discount and makes PSG millions.
Oh,
he has a store in New York. Now, like, if you're in New York and you don't know who PSG is, you know what that logo is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got people walking around with PSG logos on, Americans, just because it's got the Jordan on it. And it's making you millions. Now that's the guy, and I understand this. I understand the signing. I think it's a good signing. He's going to come in. He's going to bring in revenue, not just for that. You remember, that guy's coming in to make revenue for the stadium. Let's not forget that. It's not for the players. It's for the stadium.
Yeah.
So he's going to find revenue streams to get the stadium built. I think it's a good deal. To bring him in, it's a little different. It's something that we haven't had in a long time. So for me, upstairs is going in the right direction. When it comes to footballing matters, they're gonna need time to. And I'm just saying footballing matters. I don't mean running the club. It's gonna take time for them to get out of debt. It's gonna take time for them to start rebuilding.
Yep.
What Man United need more than anything this year is to win the Europa League. I don't see it. I don't. Not after this weekend. I just don't see them. Because we will get Tottenham in the final. And we've already lost 3 times to Tottenham already this season.
Yeah, 4th time's the charm.
So, yeah, well, they usually say 3rd time's the charm there, Mikey. But it wasn't this time.
We already played them 3 times, so it don't work then. How does it?
Yeah. But
I want to talk about the PSG appointment.
You go ahead, yeah.
The thing with that is that we were saying all these good things about Ashworth, right? So, like, I want to just see him get to work, right? Yeah. There's no waiting. There's no fighting with club. PSG was okay. He was okay to let him to get this new job, right? It was an extended negotiation where he was their CRO or the chief revenue officer. So you could come over here and do a similar role, right? But once again, Ashworth was supposed to do this job, and we got rid of him in 5 months because he wasn't doing a good job. So once this guy shows me that he could do a good job and bring in the revenue in for the club and help with the regeneration and all that other stuff, then I'll give a better count of it. So I'll check back here in a year. And before I say what he's gonna do, I think the Jordan thing is great. I've been to PSG's ground. I've been to their flagship store. It's huge. I think they do a good job with like the style of their jersey, but also like they're a money sucking state, right? Whereas they have the kind of they're just like City, right? They have the means to be able to, it's crazy if they're not successful, right?
Yeah.
So don't want to poo-poo nothing you're saying. I think that's the optimistic thing to say. I'm just gonna reserve judgment until I see him do it for us. Because it just seems like when people get over to us, they lose their fucking minds. And they like Ashford came over here talking about, oh yeah, we need to he's not involved and he's not on the hot button to get anybody, and he wants to bring in Gareth Southgate or like, come on now. Come on.
Yeah, the only difference I kind of see between the two of those is he's been brought in to do one job and one job only. Whereas in the other instance, you're looking at this guy was brought in to do a multiple job. So that's the only kind of difference I see. With this signing, he's just coming in to just do one job, and that's just to bring in money into Manchester United. It has nothing to do with the team in general. Mr. Green is saying something great. Yeah, they could do with investing in some scouting. Because our scouting department over the last 10 years, last 20 years, has been horrendous.
Yo, Mike, that's 100% right. It has become their brand, appealing to the United haters and nostalgia merchants. 100%. Because we have this problem with our club too, where it's like, we're so great, and I get it. We're so great. We're the greatest thing in the world for a long time. That is dead. That is dead. Take that shit out of your head and put it in a fucking box, and take that box and put it at the bottom of the ocean, because we are not that. These kids are not the class of 92. None of that shit is relevant now. This is a whole new game with more money in it, and money runs the game, and we need money to compete, and that's what we need to start with. And whose problem is that? Upstairs, not Amorim and not these players. Upstairs need to provide it, and I'm talking about the Glazers, but they're not going to. So that's where we're at the fucking the impasse there. Gucci kits, boys, yo. I'm not gonna lie. Real Madrid had a Y3 kit that was actually pretty nice. I don't know if we could do that.
We're still, I'd still say top 2 kits sold in the world.
Are we? Is that fact?
Yeah, as bad as we are, we're like our fan base over in Asia is massive. It's so big over in Asia. How big? That's where a lot of our revenue. I would still say top 2. I think. I don't think it will be empty ad, but it wouldn't surprise me with all the young kids who all wanted to be City fans, just like back in the 90s, we all wanted to be United fans.
As of May 31st, the top 10 earning is Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, and then us at 5.
Hits or earning
for shirt sales.
Surprise me.
Yeah,
it's still right. Pretty big.
Yeah.
I think we need to tap into the American market a little bit more. I think if you run the streets here, you see Arsenal, especially up where I am.
Man United is the most supported club in America.
Is it?
Yep.
I know that.
Yep.
Impressive. Yeah, I kind of. What else did I have written down? What else? How many players do you think we need, and how many players do you think we are going to get?
I'd say, want to say real quick, thank you for all these topics. Is Sean's making them, and I just give you a little bit of credit there. Those are great topics. With this question though, I think we need at least 6 players. And I know we're not gonna get that. Look, everybody wants this guy out, that guy out, that guy out, and I get it, but we have to. If anything that January showed us is that we got to get reinforcements. We have to supplement what we lost. It's good to get rid of Anthony. It's good to get rid of Rashford, right? But like we're not bringing guys in. Now we're down to 3 attackers because one of them is done for the season. So like we have to solidify the people that are going to be gone. And I honestly I don't feel like a lot of them could leave now because of our situation with injury. Okay, so I think six players. We need a new goalkeeper. It just has to happen, or we let Altai run it out and let Onana be the backup.
I would be
Okay,
happy with that.
let him run, and let them figure that Onana can be the one doing the fucking cup games. Okay, instead of the other way around. All right, we need to see more Altai, and let him prove to us that he's our number one because he hasn't proved it yet. He needs a run of games to prove it. We definitely need another center back. We need another center back. We're down a center back. Right. So and Harry Maguire is going to be gone in the next year after that, right? So we're going to need to supplement and get younger at that position. Are we raising the floor or a ceiling or both? I don't know what we're raising. I'm about to raise my neck from
It ain't a trophy.
we ain't raising no damn trophy, that's for sure. David Beckham should be the brand ambassador. He's too preoccupied with Miami, mate. He's making a fortune over there in Miami kids. We definitely need another midfielder. Like I've been saying, we gotta need another because all it takes is Kobe. It's crazy. I said all it takes is Kobe to get hurt. Ugarte, and they both did at the same damn. What? Hold on. What was going on in that damn practice? Were they fighting? Were y'all fighting? Was it a UFC match? Did people just say, "Yo, we're gonna fight today," and then people end up getting hurt? Because this is insane. That's the first. I never seen that many people get hurt in one training session. And 4 people got hurt. 2 season-ending careers, 2 season-ending injuries. Sorry.
I'm
What were
hearing
y'all
that
doing?
the Menu one's only 6 weeks.
That's insane. What
Not
the
it's
hell
not
were y'all
season.
doing?
And there
So
is
we
a
got-
possibility that Ahmed comes back if we do make the Europa League final, by the way. There is a possibility.
Oh man, do we want to rush him back?
No.
He should just be
Yes.
shut down.
If it means we're going in the Champions League next season, yes.
Shut him down. Shut him down. If we get all the way there, that means we didn't need him. If we get all the way to the final, that means that Ahmad deserves his rest because we're doing something right at that point, right? WWE at Carrington, yo, I need to know all the pundits, all the journos, what was going on that all these guys got hurt on the same damn day,
You know,
in the same week.
Ugarte, it looks like he may be back for this weekend. It was only a small injury.
Good.
Yeah, the Ugarte one isn't a serious. Look like
Collier, Manu, Ahmad.
Do you know Ahmed got injured by himself? He wasn't near a player. He wasn't near anyone when he got injured. That's the crazy part. He wasn't near anybody. How do you injure? That's like me going for a run and then hurting myself, and I can't run for the rest.
Well, that's very possible. You're 40 years old, and like you could pull your Achilles. You could pull your hamstring.
Oh, do I pull my Achilles every time I run?
Oh Lord, yeah, you gotta work on that. But no, I don't wish that on you. But I'm just saying, this is insane. 2 were sick. Erickson was sick, right? Erickson was sick.
Eric's sick, and then Lenny Euro was sick.
See, I didn't forgot all about Lenny Euro. I forgot about him. So what? Sick with COVID or just sick?
They were just sick.
There's a nasty flu going around. Like my daughter just had it.
Yeah, my kid had a temper 103.9.
Yeah, my kid just had one too. I had to take her in. They put on Tamiflu and all that. It's just a little nastiness going around here. So, all right, that's fine. But back to your initial question, how many players we need? But like I said, center back. We're probably gonna need to figure out that right back position eventually. Striker. We'll let Altai play the goalkeeper. Yeah, there's a few. We need at least 6 players because guys are leaving too. So, and we got to get younger.
What do you think of Casemiro's comment about he wants to stay here for a year and a half?
I think he's drunk. I think that he would love to stay here to get paid his last real checks because he can't do it anywhere else. He would love to sit here and sit on the bench and waste away and make 300 bags a week. Of course he would. So I don't believe that it's because you want to be better, because you're not doing it. But to be fair to him, I mean, I'm
You
older
leave
than
and
he
give
is.
up that money?
Do I give him that money?
No, I'm saying if you were him, would you want to leave?
No. I would be a Phil. They know who to let be Premier League players, because I would be Phil Jones. I would be sitting down. Oh, you don't want me to play? All right, 5 years, 80,000 a week. Let's go. And I wouldn't show up to none of the games. Cool. But I'm shameless.
Yeah. No, you're
yeah,
right.
I think he's nuts.
There's a lot of players leaving. You're right. We got 2 centre backs leaving. Lindelof and then what's his name? Yeah, the older guy. I'm having a brain fart right now.
Johnny Evans.
What? Johnny Evans. Yeah. So we got those 2 leaving. Midfielders. Eriksen's leaving. I expect Casemiro to leave. So you got 4 players there. I expect Rashford to go. I expect Anthony to go. Good on him right now, because he's going to make United back at the end of this season.
Good. I'm glad. Keep scoring, man.
If he keeps going like this, I don't sell him for less than 50 million.
He's selling shirts. We got guys buying Anthony shirts.
Hmm?
You know what I'm saying? So they got.
Yeah. Yeah, you got those 2. You have to, and I don't know which one it is, but you have to sell one of these strikers in this. You have to get rid, or at least loan them out. You can't, like, one of these players needs to go out on loan for me.
Rasmus needs to go.
Yeah.
I love Rasmus, dog. I want him to be great, but even in this last game, Xerxes was a lot better than he was. Right? Yeah. He did fluff a chance, but like Xerxes was way better with how he takes care of the ball. Yeah, he takes care of the ball though. Right? Yeah. He could progress the ball forward. Hell, he even showed a little bit of speed. He looked a little fast. And when he gets going, so I don't think he's slow, right? He just has a powerful first step that takes a little time. So like he's not fast, like bing, out the gate. It's like he needs the time to accelerate to get past somebody. I'm not saying he's faster than anybody in the world or whatever, but when he picks up speed, he can get going. And like he just takes care of the ball so well. He progresses it so well. I think there's a place for him in this team. He's not a 9 though.
And me, I still got it.
Oh yeah, no, Garnacho tries to go regardless of whatever it is. The Garnacho, and I love him. I love Garnacho. He's done so much for this club, but
because if you can get 100 mil for Garnacho and Rashford, you can get 100 mil for both of those 2 players. A lot of money being brought in because they're both youth academy players.
I think you get that for 3 players. You get that for Anthony, Rashford, and
no.
Yeah, you get it for that.
No,
Rashford hasn't done anything yet to prove that he's going to get this money.
No, you're right, but Barcelona won. He has his heart set on Barcelona.
Barcelona don't have money. They're
top of the Liga right now. They overtook Real Madrid today.
Yeah, but they don't have money. They don't have money.
They do though. They just sold their. That's how they got out of debt. That's how they sold the
out of debt yet.
The VIP things for their new stadium.
Yeah, they're treading water. They're treading water right now. They don't have 50 million to commit to.
But if they sell it, they can sell a couple of players like Rafinha. They could sell him 30 million, and they only cost Rashford 20. You know,
is he on the way out? Because he's one of their better players.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. They can sell a couple of players and bring in. You know, they've got a lot of youth academy. They can sell for 20 million that are decent. You know, I still think he goes to Barcelona. I really do. But even so, I know that if the money thrown around was thrown around, that if Aston Villa wanted him, he's 40 million. We'll get 55 for Garnacho because Napoli already offered us 50. We turn it down. So we'll get 50 for him. Then you're looking at 40 for Rashford. So there's 90. There's 90 million. But then you're looking at what? More like 130 because of the youth academy? Bendia, you'll probably know a little bit more about that for me. How much extra we get because they're youth academy players, but that's 100 just there that you bring in 3 guys to replace them for 30 million each. You know,
Yeah,
and then you're talking about the 75 million that you're saving in wages, especially if you can get Casemiro off the book.
yeah, I'm with those movements. I don't see. I just don't. Rashford hasn't done anything yet, right? When he starts scoring goals or providing assists,
Got an assist at the
then
weekend.
yeah, like he has to consistently do that. Like
Oh yeah,
Anthony is already 4. His GA is 4, right? We need more of that from Rashford to get that, or he's coming right back here.
yeah.
He's gonna come right back here. So, and especially with them, Aston Villa being in this fight, like they're kind of in this little stage where they could put together a good Champions League run. They need to get back to the Champions League. If they can't win it, they need to get back to those positions, which I don't think they will. But they're trying things. So hopefully Rashford can and Anthony can sustain this stuff. But yeah, Garnacho's definitely going for that. At least 50 million.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, so
That's the lowest we could take for him. I'm to be honest.
yeah, I'm more optimistic about getting rid of Rashford. To be honest with you, not just because you could bring in 40 million, but also the wages that you're going to save by getting him off the book.
No.
Um, I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, okay, you go out on loan, rediscover your form, and then come back. No, because if you couldn't do it the first time, you're not going to do it. And whether that's the pressure of Manchester United or whether it's on you, that I'm not there to judge you for why you were playing bad at Man United. But at the end of the day, if you were and you moved on, you're playing well at somewhere else. Played at Man United. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm not it just depends on the situation. But typically when guys go out on loan and they come back, like, and I excluding Ahmad's the only one, but
Yeah.
like typically they're not successful. You don't come back.
Yeah.
Right? That's it.
Well,
So
if you're a young kid,
at our club,
yeah, I'm more referring. I'm more referring to the fact that these guys are not kids; these are older players.
going out on loan at 28 is insane.
Yeah,
It's insane. At 27, as the talisman for the club, the
or
Mr. Man
24
United,
going
Mr.
out on loan is
Manchester,
insane too. Yeah,
it's insane.
yeah.
So you're on 300K a week and you're going out on loan. That's telling. It's very telling.
So I wanted to kind of pick up next on the protests and Manchester United as a whole. There's things floating around all online. I don't know how true it is. I'm just gonna throw this out there that that Qatar are still interested, but they're more interested in taking the Glazers part of Manchester United and are willing to work with Sir Jim.
Pay the price then.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not necessarily the price, but because obviously that price has come down now that you've sold, the Glazers have already sold to Sir Jim. Price ain't 6 billion anymore, more like 4 or 5. And you can't say Man United are worth net more now than when you could have sold them 3 years ago. Do you think at any point the Glazers will sell? Or what do you think would make the Glazers sell? Let me ask it that way. What do you think would make Glazers sell?
Outside of relegation, I think a real or like penalty from PSR or anything like that, or unforeseen, we get caught up for something in the city. We're like a city type that we did some stuff like that because there's always the threat of that when you get dealing with these billionaires doing it the wrong way. Outside of those unforeseen things, I think if somebody comes in and pays an exorbitant amount, if somebody comes in and says, "Look, I hate this guy," but let's say an Elon Musk type comes in and says the guy's worth $240 billion. It'll be a drop in the bucket for him to come in and say, "Oh, I'll drop 9 billion on it," which I want to do. They'll sell tomorrow. They'll sell it tomorrow. 9 billion is way over asking, and he could take care of the debt. Now, do I want fucking Elon Musk as the no? He's the last person I would want doing it. Actually, there's a few
I
other
wouldn't mind it if he says that I'm gonna buy it, but I'm step aside and let Jim take it.
I don't want a person that does Nazi salutes buying in public, buying this,
Wait, it
buying
could be
our
our new
club.
brand bastard. Huh?
Yeah,
Joking, I'm joking.
he did it once again. We don't have a.
Hey,
You're like
I did
Casey.
this. I did not do the.
Where's Casey when you need him? But no,
Ugh.
yeah, but that type of wealth comes in and says, "Don't bring that dude's name into it." Yo, I'm sorry, Brian. I am so sorry. But yeah, that type of wealth, though, right? That hundreds of billions of dollars of wealth, or 30 or 40 billion dollars of wealth comes in and says, "Hey, I'm gonna buy." It can't be Sir Jim, $2 billion net worth.
Yeah, I
Can't
think
be.
it's gonna
He
have to
doesn't have
be
that.
elite. It'll have to be a Middle Eastern type of deal or a consortium type of deal. The
I
only
think there's
the
a
only
few
thing that
American individuals that can buy it,
yeah,
but they
but
would have to want to.
yeah, what worries me about a consortium is Chelsea. That's what worries me about consortium. But not only that, Sir Jim's never going to sell. So you got a consortium coming in trying to work with Sir Jim, and then you got a whole. Right.
The one thing I'll give Sir Jim is I don't think he's in it for the money, right?
No, he's
I
not.
think
Yeah,
I think this is an actual thing. The only thing I don't like is he's doing the Nice and Lucerne sport thing to it. But I don't think he's in it for the money because there's no money to be had yet, right?
no.
The Glazers didn't take out dividends until 2016, right? They didn't take anything out until then, and now they see like, okay, well, we can do, but like,
I don't
I
think
don't
he'll
know.
ever take. I don't. I just there's
I think
something
it's a
that I
project for him that he's gonna make money elsewhere with
yeah.
like there'll be deals where there'll be money for him to be made just as a part of Man United. But I don't know. I think somebody's gonna have to buy way over asking or a little bit above asking for
Do
them
you,
to really sell.
do you
Or
think?
administration.
Yeah. If we get relegated, I think they instantly sell because getting relegated is going to be so harmful for Man United that I actually don't see us coming back up the next year. I don't.
Yeah, because we'll lose all our players.
Yeah, we'll lose all of our players, and then you're talking 200 million just for being in the Premier League, and we
And
can't
the
afford
Paris,
We can't afford players now, let alone losing 200 million.
those parachute payments would be crazy though. But they come, they're done so badly. The way they do structure their parachute payments is like you don't get it. You get it for the 3 years after, but it's like it takes so long to get, and it comes in bits.
Yeah.
It comes in chunks. It's like, I don't know. We'll go down. We'll be down for 3-5 years.
Yeah, I
Easy.
agree with you,
Damn,
Brian.
right?
I do.
Brian, 3 years, Brian. We'll
No,
be
I agree.
back
I
in
agree
3
with
years'
him, dude.
time.
If I think we're on the level of you got to remember Everton were broke, and if they went down, they would struggle. We're broker than Everton.
Yeah, but what did they really change though? Besides their manager, all it
Everton,
took
they
was
got
the
new
manager
owners.
change.
They got new owners.
Yeah, but I'm talking about on the pitch. On the pitch, they changed their manager.
Yeah.
They didn't buy a plethora of great players. They changed their manager, the philosophy changed, and then they started winning. And they got a good manager in Moyes. Moyes is a good manager. He's not a great manager. He's a good manager. And he went home. And he knows that play. He knows this Goodison place. He knows it. He knows that part of Liverpool. And he's making it happen right now. This could be a bounce. This can be a new manager bounce. But they're playing. He got Beto scoring out of his mind. Good on him. Good on him. Screw him, but good on him. But I don't think the same thing for Man United, right? We would need. I think Amorim could coach his way out the championship.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I'm about. Does Amorim stick around if we get down?
He better. Because he can go right back to Sporting. Sporting will have him tomorrow.
Yeah. They are struggling right now.
Yeah.
So he would have him right back.
In a second.
But for me, I do agree with Brian. If we went down, I don't think we come right back up. I think it takes a while.
Brian is crazy.
You got let's not forget. Let's name some of the teams that have gone down. And Blackburn won the Premier League.
They're not making the. You know what? Our revenue is not going to change.
No,
that's the thing. The money that we get,
it does because we lose
900 million we would make, just because we exist, would not change. because
we
we're
would
a world
actually
entity.
lose the Nike deal. Was that Adidas? We'd lose the Adidas deal, which is really
People
plausible.
would line up around the corner to give us a New Balance to give us one. New Balance. This is the New York Yankees we talk about here. This is the Chicago Bulls, the LA Lakers. This is that kind of brand deal that you're gonna get, and all you have to do is weather the storm of maybe 2 years in a lower league.
Yeah,
I think it actually brings more eyes to Man United because we'll be the biggest club to go
just the
down
greens
in
on it right
30
now.
years. Leeds, Coventry, Portsmouth, none of them make. We make more money than all of them in just shirts. The TV deal. The TV deal is the issue for me.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is gonna sign for a championship team? Brother, we talking about this thing right here that if you ask 10 people, 6 of them have recognized this thing here in the
No,
planet.
I agree with you on that, but to Brian's point though, is who
They might
who
make
have
money
decent.
because we're in the Prem now. They might make money because we're in the in the championship. They might end up making money when we go down.
Well, yeah,
I'm saying when.
we would make money due to uh would have the larger. Well, we have the largest stadium in the league anyway. But
I think
just
y'all think about it the wrong way.
yeah, it
I
does
think
drop
we're so
significantly.
huge. We're so massive, bro. Us going down. That's like if Real Madrid was to go to the second division, right?
GP.
That would be people will be watching that. First off, people will be watching Man United to see if we slip further. It'll be must see TV. It'll be eyes that never went watch the championship. Let's just take all these American fans, for example, that don't watch anything but the team that they support, and then probably the MLS. Now we're talking about eyes watching fucking Coventry City versus Man United, not in the FA Cup game
Well, at least you get the
a
Millwall versus
Saturday.
Man United game.
I'm sorry.
At least you get the Millwall versus Man United.
Come on, and then we could sell tickets to the fights that's gonna happen outside the ground. See, y'all
Um,
not thinking, man.
but yeah, we'll move on for that. For me, I don't know. It's for me the Glaziers. We have to get the Glaziers. I don't know how it's done, but the Glaziers. I don't see this team winning the league for the next at least 10 years if the Glaziers don't go. I don't. I think the rot has got so deep into Man United from the Glaziers. I don't think I think the only way that we move ahead is by having surgery and just removing the rot. You know,
That's
you
the
can
thing
treat
about
the rot with
ownership. Yeah,
you can treat the rot all you want,
yeah,
but it ain't gonna go until you dig it out. And I just don't see Man United getting out of this until the Glaziers are gone.
agreed, 100% agreed. I just think that
Got to be a way
I
we
don't,
can get them out. Got to be.
I don't. I mean, they own it. They own it. It's theirs.
Yeah.
It's theirs. There's no unless they agree to sell, they're not going anywhere. So the thing we need to do is, and we're gonna cripple the club by doing it, and with Ineos is we're going to be not you can't get people to do this. That's the crazy thing because I hate to say it, we have a lot of tourists. Like if I go, I'm gonna spend $400, $500. I'm going to go buy a shirt. I'm going to stay at club football. I'm going to stay this place, that place. I'm giving money to the area, to the club, and all of that. And there's going to be people from all over the world that are not interested in not going because or whatever. But we need to stop. We just need to stop watching these games.
Yeah.
Stop going to these games. But that's a tough ask. We've
You
been
can't
asking
do
that for
that.
years.
Yeah, the difference between
Can't do it.
a team in the championship doing that, because teams in the championship have done that. Difference between that and Man United is our fan base is so big and so far reaching that people come over from Asia or America or Australia to go watch Man United, and they're spending so much money that they're not going to go to the game. That's the
you
problem.
just said the same thing I said.
Yeah,
You can't stop them from doing it.
Yeah, so it will never happen. Just won't go to the game. Now, can the game get called off? Absolutely.
And they'll call it off, and then they'll just play it someplace else.
No, it'll get no, because Man United
You
will
only
just keep
call it
getting
off
fined.
once. You'll call it off once, and then they'll get played else. It'll have to get played at another time. You're not gonna keep protesting it and stopping it.
No,
The
but Man
Bobbies will
United
be
get
outside
fined
to
a
stop them.
lot of money every time that game's put up.
Oh yeah, but the game will happen. The police will get involved. That's all it takes. The police will just barricade it and be closed doors, and that'll be that.
But then you get no money for. But then you get your empty stadium.
How many times do you think that could honestly happen? Once, 2 times before they say, you know what, we're gonna move it to a neutral ground because it's unsafe to have it, or we're just gonna abandon the game and give the opposing team 3 points. Well,
Against the Glazers, I'm for it.
I don't know. You can't. You just, the thing is, all of these things are nice to do, and it's disruptive, but it's like an itch on your back, and once you scratch it, it's like, all right.
No, look, I have ideas to do it here. I also avoid.
As long as you don't go on nobody's private property and you file the right papers.
I'm on about putting like a billboard up, but I also don't want to get sued for defamation either.
Oh, well, as long as you're not fucking saying nothing rude, you could make a billboard with just the facts on it. How much money we've lost. All these things are public knowledge. As long as you're saying things that everybody else knows and you're not affirming something that's untrue, the world's your oyster. And we got plenty of facts about what how much money, how much debt we owe, and all this other stuff. It's all in writing. It wouldn't take but a second to do that.
Yeah.
No. I want a billboard, and I want to go to outside their house.
For me, it would be a billboard.
I don't know where they live, though. That's my thing.
You can find out.
Because, like,
one lives in Florida. One lives.
Well, Florida's in Tampa, so I mean Tampa's in Florida.
Oh well, Miami should be not.
Okay.
One lives in Miami.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
No, you're right, Mr. Green. For them, it's an asset, not a football club. But the point
That's the
is,
problem.
how much of an asset is it for them anymore? Though that's the point. They're not making any money anymore. They're not taking dividends. The stock has completely crashed. Get it for $14 a share right now. How much of an asset is it for them anymore?
How much of it is that they're just telling us "fuck you"?
Yeah. Well,
how much of it's like, oh, y'all want to do all this?
Sell. Yeah. Of the 6, 4 want to sell. 2 don't want to sell. But they can't sell until 6 want to sell.
No. By design.
Yep.
By design, because it's the younger people that were like, come on, let's sell this thing. Let's get away from it. And it's like these 2 old coots. They're like, no, we're going to keep this. We're going to ride it out. And we're just going to deal with the Bucks. The Bucks make us all our money.
Yeah, but for me, I just don't see how much of an asset it is. 10 years ago, yeah, because they're taking dividends. We're still worth a lot of money. They're not paying anything for transfers because it's coming. Now it's like, how much of an asset is it? They're not making any money anymore. For me, they should have took the 6 billion and ran with what.
Man United's worth $6.5 billion.
That?
Man United's worth $6.55 billion. $6.55 billion. That's in dollars. So it's $5.2 billion.
Yeah, but Man United is, but you only own 57% of United. They only own 57%.
Yeah, but they're gonna ask. The thing is, with business, they're gonna ask above. You're gonna have to be able to pay above that in order to get it. That's what the team value. It's like, we know what the team value is overall, so it doesn't matter how much we own. We want you to pay this much. Either you do it or we keep it. It's our ball to keep. Ball's in our court. The revenue's at $785 million. That's just all American, right? And then 187 million in operating income. Debt to value ratio is at 10%. And on a match day, they can make. Nah, I don't believe that. That's crazy. This is Forbes. This is all for Forbes. It says match day revenue is $1.2 billion.
Match day revenue?
Don't believe it. It says match day 1.2 billion.
I think that's more like 1.1 million instead of. But
I don't
million,
know.
yeah, I could agree with that.
Broadcasting they get 1.9 billion for the year, and commercial is 2.4 billion.
Then how the fuck are you in debt? That's correct. How are you in debt?
I'm going off Forbes, and Forbes is very shaky. I'm going off Forbes, and they suck. But they've been known to be wrong. So yeah, they have a whole breakdown evaluation on here. It's actually pretty in depth.
Yeah, Brian, the Sheik was willing to do that. He was, he offered 5.5, but then offered to take care of the billion in debt. Technically 6.
I'm not eating biryani. I'm eating a steak salad because I'm down 15 pounds,
Here we go.
and I'm trying to keep the protein up.
Here we go.
But
Chicken Caesar.
the damn shake. The thing is that the Man United disrespected the Sheikh so much because they're asking him where is he getting his money from, and he's like, "Bitch, I'm the Sheikh. Are you crazy? Do you know who I am? Do you know what family I belong to? Are you insane? I have to show you papers about how much money I'm getting. Like, did you do this with Sir Jim?" And that's where the issue came in with the Sheikh. Also, they didn't want to sell to him, and I think they didn't want to sell to him because Sir Jim was like, "Nah, we'll do 22, 25." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, we could just sell a piece of it." So now why would I sell you if I could keep a hold of it and get $1 billion from this guy? They gave him $1 billion.
Yeah. It just, for me though, it's like, how are you making any money? Like if I own a business, say I own Man United and I was taking the dividends, I was getting 12 million a year. Now I got $1 billion. 67 years old. She comes in off 0.5 billion right now. Plus I got $1 billion from Sir Jim. For me, I would be like, I'll take it. But but that's them. Jim promised the rights to ship for 25% stake. Glazers brought it. Is how I'm seeing it.
Oh. So this is a thing real quick. I'll talk about Ineos. So Ineos doing all these cuts. Flaming hot take. Glazers rather crater United than sell to Muslims. That might be true. Don't know. They are pretty political people, but Ineos, right? So I was listening to this guy today. He's talking about he's been covering United for years, and he's been covering the Glazer thing for years, all the protests and everything going on with the sale from when they were bought, when United was bought, and all this other stuff. For at least 20 or 30 years now. He was saying that one of the executives from Man United a while back, when they were interviewing for a job, at the end, I'm not getting the job, I guess, but when he was interviewing for a job, that they sent 3 planes over. Ineos now sent 3 planes. They took 3 private jets over, right? To I think he was in like Germany or some shit. And like the amount of money they spent to recruit him was way more in salary than a lot of what people would be making in general, right? All these redundancy things. And that he didn't believe that necessarily the redundancy needed to happen because we have one of the lowest staff wage bills. We have the 3rd lowest staff wage bill. So common staff, not executives or players. Common staff, concessions, ticket guys, all that other stuff. He's not understanding how you guys are spending all these absorbent amount of money gassing up private jets and all this other stuff, but then you're getting rid of the ticket guy. But also, if your job at United is lower than minimum wage, right? It's a lower than minimum wage job. So I thought that was a good interview. I gotta find his name.
Yeah,
it was a good. I posted it in the group earlier.
All right,
and
I'll check that out. For me
it
though,
was very good.
Well, you first off, Ineos. Second of all, as of right now, they're not allowed to invest any money. So,
No.
Yeah, no. But this is just a dream that the Sheikh come in and take the 57% and work with Jim and build the stadium and clear the debt. set up. To be honest though, even if they do that does come in, I hope we don't go back to how we were and spending 300 grand a week on wages.
Well,
No.
Ronaldo, another thing with your thing is that was a point. That was a thing with the fan base. The fan base were like they didn't want us to be owned by a state, right? The idea that it was going to be owned by a state, kind of like City and Newcastle, but
Oh, I bet they will change their mind right now though.
it was different. That's the thing. It's different because it would be the sheikh who would own it aside from any state ownership. And he kept trying to say that to people, but nobody was hearing him. But the thing is, it's kind of the same because he gets his money from being a part of this family, right? From being in bed with the people that run the country. So,
He's the
it
son.
is.
He's actually a bank.
Yeah, right. So it's like, but he's gotten into this position. Why? Right. So it's understood. I just, once again, I don't think there's a such thing as an ethical billionaire. I feel like there's got to be some, just for capitalism to run in general, there got to be some take. There's some give, but there's a whole more take than give. And we've accepted that in this country for so long that and England is starting to accept it now more than ever.
Yeah.
England has turned into like a little America going on now, and that's just, it's showing in football. Football shows what's going on in real life all the time. Like, it's a reflection of real life, and all these billionaire conglomerates buying up these clubs and inserting themselves into it and stripping the game and taking layers back and making us slowly accept it is just par for the course.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, that's been another episode of 1870 Fan Zone. I'll be back tomorrow on those casual reds, and Mikey will be back on Thursday. Brian, just like Mr. Green, you ever want to come on main channel of YouTube, just go down, send us an email.
Just talk to Casey. He's an LA guy.
Oh yeah, yep. Just talk to Casey. Let us know if you ever want to come on the show.
I was on with him one time before we did all of this.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Green, if you're still on, get that email sent, and I'll get a link sent out to you either Thursday or Monday. But everybody else, peace out, and we'll see you this week.
Peace.